Hisashiburi desu ne. This video is about the misconceptions that I see going on rampantly in America about Japan. And I'm sorry that a lot of these Asian Pacific videos end up being nothing but Japan. I apologize for that. I wanted to kind of be well-rounded, but this is what I know. I'm sorry. I decided to make a video about misconceptions about Japan. And you can find right here some info about, those misconceptions, some of which I borrowed for this video. Let's go through a couple of real obvious ones. First of all, I hear a lot of people, oh, all those Japanese people, they really love computers. Oh my goodness, they're all techie people. They just go to school every day, and they're perfect at school, and everything's wonderful, where they march in a straight little line and all this. People, if you've ever been to a Japanese school, it's not a whole lot different than walking up into, well, the kids aren't a lot different. There's a respect, of course, and there are certain rules that you just don't see everywhere else. But the kids are kids, they run around, they act like crazy people half the time, and they act like regular people the other half, just like any other kid in the world. Like every other group of people in the world, you're going to have some bright people and some not so bright people. Another one I always hear, Japanese people are kind of perverted in their imaginations. They got like weird, video games and manga, which is the magazine, and cartoons, and movies and stuff. And so those Japanese people are just like, they're just weird. Half the time, if you see something that you think is weird and it comes from Japan, there's a bunch of people in Japan think the exact same thing you do. They're looking at it like, what, or they would say, ew. But the thing is, all we get is the show. If Japanese people were to look at South Park, The Simpsons to a degree, and Family Guy, and think that that's how we think, oh man, there'd be some diplomatic problems going on, because, they're not going to think that that's how we are. They see a lot of stuff about America. We don't see a whole lot of stuff about Japan. We don't see the smart stuff. We see things that are weird, things that are geeky, or things that are creepy, and that's about it. What else? Oh yeah, sushi. I had this misconception all the way up until my wife. And she showed me all kinds of other Japanese food that just made me say, wow, I'm an idiot. And I'm glad that she showed me, because otherwise I'd be walking around thinking that, it's mostly sushi, that weird fish that's poisonous, and maybe some shark and some humpback whale or something. I had no idea what was going on over there. Oh, maybe they eat it like a lunch break, the little bento thing. And yeah, it is in the bento sometimes, but most of the time you're not going to see that. Sushi's hard to make. Sushi is not something you just slap together like, oh, hamburger, casserole, oh, sushi, damn, and you just put it. It doesn't work that way. But, they got things over there. They've got, like, chicken, breaded chicken dishes, and udon, and soba, and all kinds of noodles, and fresh ginger salads. And just, it makes the mouth want to go, oh, why am I here? It's stuff we don't hear. We don't hear the tasty stuff about Japan. We hear weird things and things that we don't want to eat. There are these things that people talk about that are not so nice. There's people who think that there's a lot of racism in Japan. I will admit that there's a history of some Korean issues. Of course, Japan occupied Korea for a while and made them do things that were Japanese, and so yeah, there are some people, very few. It's pretty much like you would expect here in America. There might be a couple people who don't want to admit that they're racist, but they kind of are. It's kind of like that. And some people post these videos online talking about they don't like foreigners, and they will take you away from a restaurant, and you can't get into a membership club because you're not Japanese. Oh, they don't like you. They don't like you. To be honest, a lot of these videos I see, they're getting, some flack because the videos are showing stuff that's photoshopped. It's not real. They're trying to make Japan look bad. And some of them are true. There are places where they don't want foreigners, but there's a reason. It's not a nice one, but it's a real one. For a while, there are some people who come in and they trash the place because they don't understand that you're not supposed to walk around with boots in a tatami room. or they don't know that they're not supposed to like yell really loud in the middle of some business meeting going on over here. They don't know that you're supposed to be polite. They don't know certain things, and they lose business. And so some people just say, hey, you know, if you know a Japanese person who can kind of show you the ropes, you can come in, but if not, I don't know. I don't think so. And that's a sad thing, but again, it's not really their fault that we're ignorant about them. You know what I mean? And it sounds bad, but the fact is, you know, when you're losing business and you don't have a choice, and you got like people who are like fighting and drinking and doing drugs and like thinking that every Japanese girl is a prostitute or something like that, you want them out, you know. But most of the time, if you're a foreigner and you're dressed nicely, or you look halfway decent walking around, they'll be nice and they won't say anything bad to you. I never had anybody be racist to me, ever. Worst thing anybody did was, ooh, I want to touch your head. You get that. If you're an African American guy, you've got hair that's a little different, and so they're gonna want to come over. They'll be real shy, but they're itching to just, you know, they go crazy. What's another one? Let's see. Oh God, yeah. Whew. They've been talking about this thing called a rape club. You heard me right. You didn't have wax in your ears. Rape club. I'm saying it. That's what it is. They are not common anywhere, but there was one that was put in the newspaper. It was from Japan, and ever since then, people think that there are these multiple rape clubs. But people, ever since then, ever since I heard about this, about a year and a half ago, everybody's thinking that they're rampant, that they're all over the place. And if you go to a Japanese school, oh my God, they're there, and you know. There is some sexism, yes. Kind of the latent sexism that you'll find in a lot of places. America is losing theirs, which is good, but still around. I think it's still around. It's a bad thing. It's disgusting, but it's there. What eats me up is because a lot of people use that to say that the other 127 million Japanese people think the same way. Ooh, it's the culture. That's what it is. No. Okay? It's not. They don't like it any more than we do. They're not going to be condoning it any more than we do. It's disgusting no matter what. And there was one more I wanted to say. TV shows is another one. That all, you know, TV in Japan is like creepy or hazardous to your health, or they show creepy things to children. That one stupid Pokemon cartoon. The one cartoon. You actually think that the cartoons were designed to do this? That Japanese TV is designed to be this horrible on purpose? You really think? No. It's the one cartoon. And there was actually an article that was printed a little bit after the Pokemon cartoon with the flashing blue and red lights and stuff. And they actually said that this was indicative of Japanese television. And children are not safe in Japan because of this. I'm like, what? You can't show anything inappropriate for kids on television until the late night. You can, or prime time, not late night, but prime time. You can't show stuff that a kid wouldn't want to see, because you will have a ton of Japanese parents calling in. Kid shows, by and large, are pretty much like our kid shows. You got, you know, you got your teen shows, you got your little kid shows, you got your educational shows. It's pretty much the same thing. I guess that's it for now. If I think of a few more, I'll put some on. But look at those two sites I mentioned. Look at the video on YouTube from Nippon Q and the FAQ that's there. Peace. WWII.